In the ONC legislation, there are important elements of the Northwest Forest Plan that are retained, starting with the approach to aquatic ecosystem protection. Now, working with some of the scientists like Dr. Gordon Reeves, who helped create that aquatic strategy, we've been modifying it, but we retain the essential elements of it. And its protective nature, that's retained. The key watersheds, as an example, that were identified in the Northwest Forest Plan are retained. The buffers, the concept of the buffers are similar. They've been somewhat modified, but the ideas there modified based on recent science. So first off, the aquatic ecosystem protection is certainly one of the backbones of the ONC legislation. It is an update. It's an update that retains both its function and its major elements, but it's considering the latest science. Then in terms of old growth protection, we really left that incomplete in the Northwest Forest Plan. In that, the idea being that most of the old growth, and let's talk about forests over, say, 120, 150 years, most of those forests were reserved, especially up in what we call moist forests. We divide protection in a moist forest and dry forest. In the moist forest, the classic Douglas fir old growth that we all think about, we left it incomplete. We left some of the old growth available for harvest in the Northwest Forest Plan. Under the Senator's legislation, now there is an old growth legacy network, and we really have finished the work we started in the Northwest Forest Plan in terms of old growth protection. On the moist forest, on the dry forest, we really key on protecting individual old trees because there's been a buildup in stand densities and we need to thin out around them. But again, there is protection on trees over 150 years of age all across the ONC lands, and that protection did not exist before. What the Senator has done, because one of his goals is certainly to try to both maintain and increase harvest somewhat, what the Senator has done is he has shifted harvest from old growth into the younger stands. And thus, more of the younger stands are available for this ecological forestry harvest than before. Now, this is a harvest more in sync with the way our forests developed, but there are more of the younger stands that are, most of them are plantations that will be available for harvest over time using ecological forestry. Probably one of the most controversial elements in the bill is a relatively small amount of forestry in 80 and 120 years of age. Generally, that had not been harvested before. It's not old growth, but it's mature. A small amount of that is in the legislation. That has drawn a lot of attention, and I'm sure will continue to be an important part of the policy discussion. But that is a very minor part of the land base for sustained yield management.